Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now out in theaters, and ever since the release of it, a lot of fans have been expressing different reactions about the film. A lot of fans either love the film or hate the film by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of fans have been really controversial over is the fact that this movie really did indeed change elements of Palpatine and his survival, his death in Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker sacrifice. I mean, the list goes on, right? So, when we look at the future of Star Wars, obviously a lot of fans are quite worried with how Disney and Lucasfilm are going to handle the future after Episode 9. This really is a big deal because obviously, when you look at Disney Star Wars, they have done so much wrong with The Last Jedi, with director Rian Johnson taking the lead as director and writer, and how he handled Luke Skywalker and stuff around those lines. Now, when we look at Disney Plus, obviously this is the future of the franchise, and that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni really are going to be two powerful figures over at Lucasfilm. In fact, Jon Favreau is currently working very hard on The Mandalorian Season 2 that will be releasing later this year, which, by the way, is going to be here before you know it, so I cannot wait to see exactly what that's going to look like. We got the Clone Wars Season 7 arriving on Disney Plus later this month. I cannot wait for that as well. So, with that being said, what's really intriguing all has to do with the future of Star Wars, where now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are done with the sequel trilogy and are moving on to their new Star Wars universe, it's explained that they are currently developing over 10 years worth of both live-action and animated projects for their Disney Plus streaming service, as well as films to release in theaters. One of the big plans that both Disney and Lucasfilm have in store for the community is to rewrite aspects of The Rise of Skywalker with their new Star Wars universe, and that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will be involved with all of this. However, it's described that one project that Disney and Lucasfilm have in store is said to be a prequel to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, that is said to fully explain Palpatine's earlier life with Darth Plagueis, as well as the early life of Darth Maul. This project is said to be in negotiations on if it should be on either live action or animated form, and that Jon Favreau is said to be attached to this project as well as Dave Filoni. Now, this project to The Phantom Menace, this prequel, if you will, is actually said to give fans a better understanding visually of how Palpatine turned to the dark side, and what lured him to the darkness, as well as the life of Darth Plagueis. It's noted that Lucasfilm is aiming to make this an animated series over live action, however, that is still being negotiated right now. However, Jon Favreau is said to be attached to this particular project that is described to be for Disney Plus that will explore the three dark side users of Plagueis, Palpatine, and Maul, all in one series that will tie directly to The Phantom Menace. Now, this project is currently in the early development phase and is being worked out by Lucasfilm as they develop their roadmap that will be fully announced this August at Celebration. This series is said to allow fans to also learn more about the character of Darth Plagueis and more, and that Kathleen Kennedy will not be involved with this project. So let's take a moment here and examine exactly what Disney's trying to do. Essentially, what they are doing is that they still are latching on to many of the known and favorite characters out there. Obviously, a lot of fans, love Darth Maul, they love Darth Plagueis. We never really got to see Darth Plagueis in action or in motion. So, Darth Maul, Darth Plagueis, Darth, Sidious, all these three characters being the center of this new series is really going to be quite a ride, I will add. Now, it's unclear if it's going to be animated or live action. Something tells me that this is not going to be live action, and I'll explain why. Is because if you're going to cast a young version of Palpatine, it really needs to be done correctly, and I can almost see that it would be very hard to cast a young Palpatine. I feel like that the route that they have gone with a lot of the other series, like the Clone Wars and Rebels and the Rise of Skywalker sequel series that they are planning, and now this prequel series to The Phantom Menace, really is going to most likely be animated, if I really had to be honest. I mean, that really seems like to be the more realistic way for Disney and Lucasfilm. But I could be wrong. They could actually choose the live-action, route and do it that way. I just feel like that when you look at everything to what Disney has done, anything that really seems like it's going to be amazing, they always kind of dwindle it down or kind of don't really make it as good as it really could have been. So hopefully it is live action. That would be the best option, and we'll have to wait and see. But the fact that Jon Favreau is attached to this in some way, shape, or form really is going to be quite exciting. I think that Jon Favreau is really going to be the new George Lucas. Even Disney CEO Bob Iger said this, that he sees a lot of George Lucas within Jon Favreau. And you know what? I do too. Just from watching The Mandalorian, the writing is dead on perfect. Sure, you know, it's got some problems here and there. Nothing ever is flawless, really. But this series, let me tell you, very well written. Jon Favreau is the man, and the fact that he's going to be attached to so many projects throughout this entire decade really does excite me about the future of everything. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding from night to moon.